What is up, people of YouTube? I'm your host Vernon. This is the Red River. Let's fish that. Alright, ladies and gents, as you can see, it's officially spring. Now normally back in Vegas, this will be the exact time that I go out trying with some lures for some big bass, seeing how they're heading into spawn. But here in Canada, things are a bit different. We still have some snow around, the ice is slowly melting, water temperatures are a lot cooler, and it's going to be another 2 months before we try and target some bass. And to make things complicated, with all the ice around, it's hard to find spots that has open water. But I made my way out back to the Crouchaine Bridge here on the Red River. Now the reason why this particular spot is we have access to open water, and because it is spring, there are certain species that you're not allowed to target. There are certain sections of the Red River and the Saint Norbert River where you're not allowed to fish for walleye until the 15th of May. And for that reason, there are fewer places we can fish. We are not allowed to target any fish at Lockport at the moment. That's why we're out here at Crouchaine Bridge. But we're not going to catch anything standing around. Let's get to fishing. Alright, so next to the bridge we have some open water granting me access to the water. Also quite a lot of geese. Hopefully they will quiet down a bit. Now you're only allowed 2 rods when doing ice fishing. We're not doing ice fishing, so we're only allowed to use 1 rod. But you're allowed 2 hooks, so we're going to maximize what we can do out there. And because there's still snow and ice everywhere, the waters are very cold. So I'm thinking some lures. The fish won't be chasing around stuff. So I'm not going to start off with any lures. I'm going to go straight to baits, throwing that out there, letting it soak in the water, waiting for these slow fish to find them. And the setup I'm using is quite simple. It's just a high-low rig. On the bottom hook there we have some night crawlers, and the top one some frozen bait fish. Just going to throw that out there, let it soak in the water. We wait for something to find it. Now because we do have some strong current moving past, I have a 3-ounce lead weight on there, something heavy to try and keep our baits in one particular spot. We don't want them to be moving around a lot, so I'm keeping them in one spot. Let's see if any fish can find our baits in the cold water. I'm also not throwing the baits out all the way across. Remember, it is rather shallow. I'm picking this particular spot because we have a boat launch, so it should be a bit of a deeper pool, hoping that the fish, if they want to get some oxygenated water, some open rushing water would be a great place for oxygen, and a deep pool like this, hoping that's where the fish will be held up, or maybe next to the pylons, hoping that the smell of some baits might get some fish swim around, find our baits. Alright, so when fishing with baits like this, it can sometimes take many hours to get one fish. You need to be on your ball game. If you miss that one chance, you might miss your only fish for the day. Now, I've been out here for a couple of hours. Early this morning, wanted to see whether we can get out here when the sun rises. It was not supposed to be windy, and the wind is really cold. But it's a lovely day out. Bluebird skies, some lovely sun to warm me up. But seeing as how I'm new to the fishing in this area, there are a couple of interesting things I learned that I want to point out. When going around Winnipeg, you'll see quite a lot of lakes and some creeks and rivers. A lot of these places look very fishy. It looks like there needs to be fish in these places. But this winter, I actually saw that some of the rivers actually completely freeze, meaning there's no fish, there's no water for the fish to be in. They kind of have to move out of these rivers and creeks and go to the Red River. And it's interesting to think or see that there can be water, but there's not necessarily fish in there. They all die when it gets too cold, or they just simply have to leave that body of water, go for some deeper water. That is part of why I thought about the Red River. Now, I'm not guaranteed that there are any fish around this particular area, but having the open water, some noisy geese around, but open water, I can have a place where I can get some baits into the water and see if I can get on any fish. So now we know what's going on. Now it's just waiting around to see if we get anything. So we're getting hits. It's not setting off the little bell. I just want to check our baits, see if we have anything on there. And we do. We have a little goldeye. This will be my first goldeye ever. Haven't caught any goldeye yet. This one is on Nightcrawler. Let's quickly get our net. There we are. Little goldeye landed. Our little barbless hook came out quite easy. Nice little goldeye. This guy would be pretty good bait for some catfish. But we're not going to keep any today. Going to get him back to the water. Just going to give him a toss. And down he goes. First little fish for today. Lovely little goldeye. Like I said, that's my first goldeye ever. Sure, we'll get some more. I want to figure out how to catch them, so I have some bait for catfish and stuff. But for the time being, happy to get on a fish. While I was recording, we just had a tug. And we have a fish on. Looks to be a red horse. So in something like 3 hours, haven't had that much fish. And now we get two back to back. First little goldeye and now a little red horse. That is on Nightcrawler as well. Get our net. The ice is starting to break. We have a tiny layer of ice covering the rocks. Very dangerous to get out on that. That's why I'm using the net rather than going towards the water. There we are. Lovely little red horse. Little sucker fish. Let's quickly just get him back into the water. We don't want him to freeze. We've not had the fish out of the water for long, and he looks to be swimming around in the net. So let's just release him, and off he goes. Lovely little red horse from the Red River. That's our second little fish for today. Alright, ladies and gents, when it comes to this type of fishing, if you're in a good spot, places where the fish go during winter, the deep holes to go and hide in, a little honey hole, if you're in that spot, you can catch quite a lot of fish. But if, like me, you don't know where these honey holes are, you're just fishing for whatever is around, well, then you're out here for long hours waiting for the fish that's swimming by to hopefully go for your baits. Now, that being said, in 4 hours I managed to get 2 fish out there, not too bad, and there is still a lot of daylight left. We can stay out here for a couple more hours, but to be honest, the wind is rather cold. It is only minus 5 degrees Celsius today, and during this weekend it will go up to 7 degrees Celsius, so the actual temperature is not that bad, but the wind chill factor, that's a bit rough. And having caught some fish, especially getting a new life lister, I'm happy with what I got out there today. So please do give me a little thumbs up for getting that new life lister. Feel free to ask any questions down below in the comments. And also, if you want to help me out, tell me of different places you think I should go fishing, different things that I need to be trying, tell me down in the comments as well. Alright, but that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and like always, see you next time.